Big news! Your soulmate is happier than ever. Because you finally did this. My child, come close to me now and let me speak directly to your heart. I have watched you for so long, and I have seen every quiet moment you thought nobody noticed. Today I am going to tell you something that will change the way you see everything. Listen closely to me, because what I am about to share is deeply personal and deeply true. Your soulmate, the one I have chosen for your heart, is happier right now than they have been in a very long time. And the reason for their sudden joy has everything to do with a choice you finally made. You may not realize this yet, but your soulmate has been walking through a very dark valley. They have been carrying a weight that pressed down on their chest late at night when sleep would not come. They have cried tears that nobody saw, tears that fell silently onto their pillow while the world slept. But something shifted recently, something powerful and unseen, and they felt the change deep in their spirit. The heaviness began to lift, and a strange new peace started to settle over their heart. And I want you to know the beautiful truth, my child, because you are the reason for that shift. You finally let go of something I asked you to release a long time ago. You finally stopped holding on to a pain that was never meant to stay in your hands. And the moment you opened your fingers and surrendered it to me, something broke open in the spirit realm. Your soulmate felt it immediately, even if they do not fully understand what happened. They woke up the next morning feeling lighter, as if a storm had passed while they were dreaming. A smile came to their face without any reason they could name, and hope returned to their eyes. Jesus says, "The obedience of one heart can release blessing over another heart, even across great distance." My child, I need you to understand how deeply connected you already are to this person. The bond between you exists right now, in this very moment, even before your eyes have met. What happens in your soul affects what happens in theirs, because I have tied your spirits together with holy purpose. While you have been wondering where they have been wondering if anyone truly understands them. While you have been praying for love, they have been praying for strength just to make it through another day. And your prayers have been rising to my throne and falling back down as protection over their life. You had no idea that your whispered words in the dark were wrapping around them like a shield. You did not know that your tears of longing were being collected and turned into healing for their wounds. But I am telling you now, and I want you to receive this truth completely into your heart. Your soulmate has been through something that broke a piece of them. They trusted someone who betrayed their trust, and the scar has been slow to heal. They have been afraid to hope again, afraid to believe that real love could actually find them. But then you did the thing I had been gently urging you to do for months. You released the bitterness you were holding against someone who hurt you long ago. You chose forgiveness, not because the other person deserved it, but because your own heart deserved to be free. The Lord says, forgiveness is not for the one who wronged you, it is the key that unlocks your own prison door. And when that prison door swung open for you, it swung open for your soulmate too. The chains that had been holding them in sadness and fear began to loosen. They felt a sudden permission to breathe again, to dream again, to believe again. My child, do you see now how powerful your choices truly are? The step of faith you took last week, the one that felt small and private, sent shockwaves through the heavens. It cleared a path that had been blocked, and your soulmate is now walking more freely because of it. I want you to picture them right now in my presence. I want you to see them with the eyes of your spirit, standing in the light of my love. They are not perfect, but they are perfectly chosen for you, crafted by my hands to fit the shape of your heart. They have a laugh that will become your favorite sound in all the world. They have a way of looking at you that will make you feel truly seen for the first time. And they have a tenderness beneath their strength that only you will be trusted enough to hold. But right now, they are still in a season of becoming. They are still healing, still growing, still learning to trust the goodness of my plans. And your prayers are the water that helps their soul bloom into readiness. Jesus says, I am weaving your stories together even now, thread by thread, moment by moment. There is something specific I want to tell you about your soulmate's current situation. They have been facing a decision that feels too big for them to make alone. They have been asking me for a sign, some clear indication of which path to take. And I am placing that sign in their life tomorrow morning when they wake. It will come in a form they do not expect, through a voice they did not anticipate. But it will be unmistakable to their heart, and it will remind them of a truth they had forgotten. That truth is simply this: they are not alone, and they have never been alone. I have been with them in every lonely room, in every silent car ride, in every sleepless night. And I have been preparing them for you since before either of you took your first breath. Your soulmate has a gift that the world desperately needs, but they have been hiding it. They have been afraid of rejection, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of shining too brightly. But the joy they are feeling now is beginning to unlock that gift once again. You will recognize them partly by the way their passion inspires something dormant inside of you. When you hear them speak about what they love, something in your chest will come alive. It will feel like remembering a song you loved as a child but had long forgotten. The Lord says, "What I join together, no person and no circumstance can tear apart." My child, I need you to stay in this place of surrendered trust. The choice you made to release the past was the first domino in a chain of miracles. But there are more steps coming, and I need you to keep your heart soft and your hands open. Your soulmate is happier now, but they still need your prayers covering them every single day. They still face challenges that they have not told anyone about, burdens they carry in silence. And your intercession creates a canopy of protection over their life that nothing can penetrate. I want you to imagine yourself standing in the gap for them, even without knowing their name or face. I want you to picture your prayers rising like a wall of fire around their home, their mind, their heart. This is not a small thing I am asking you to do, this is a sacred partnership with heaven itself. When you pray for your soulmate, you are not speaking into emptiness. You are speaking directly into their circumstances, directly into their thoughts, directly into their future. Your words carry authority because I have given it to you, and I honor the prayers of the faithful. Jesus says, your love for them, expressed through prayer, is already changing the course of their life. There is something your soulmate needs protection from right now. There is an old relationship trying to pull them back into a place of confusion and pain. Someone from their past is attempting to re-enter their life with words that sound sweet but carry poison. I need you to pray specifically against this deception. I need you to ask me to give your soulmate discernment to recognize falsehood dressed as love. Your prayers can build a wall of clarity around their mind that confusion cannot scale. They have been so close to falling back into a trap that would delay our plans for years. But your recent act of obedience, your choice to release and forgive, shifted the spiritual atmosphere. It gave my angels new assignments over your soulmate's decisions, and the trap is being exposed. Do you understand now why I asked you to let go when I did? Do you see that your personal healing was never just about you? I was positioning you to become a lifeline for the person I created to share your life. The Lord says, there is no such thing as a private victory. Every spiritual breakthrough releases blessing into the lives of those connected to you. Your soulmate is happier than ever, and that happiness is a direct result of your faithfulness. But this is only the beginning of what I am doing. The joy they feel now is like the first light of dawn before the full sunrise of reunion. I want to prepare your heart for what is coming next. In the days ahead, you are going to start noticing small signs that confirm this word is true. You will encounter the same number repeatedly, or hear the same phrase spoken by different people. Pay attention to these moments, my child, because they are my way of winking at you. They are my way of saying, yes, you heard me correctly, and I am faithful to complete what I started. When you see these signs, let your heart rise in hope instead of sinking into doubt. Doubt has been a weapon the enemy has used against you for far too long. He has whispered that your desires are too big, that your prayers are too bold, that your faith is foolish. But I am telling you now that your desires are only a shadow of the goodness I have actually prepared. Jesus says, dream bigger, my child, because your imagination has not yet caught up to my reality. There is something about your soulmate's voice that you need to know. When you hear them speak for the first time, it will feel familiar in a way you cannot explain. It will sound like coming home, like a melody your heart has always known but never learned. That is because I allowed your spirits to hear each other before you were born. There was a conversation in heaven, a promise made between your souls in my presence. And that promise is now being fulfilled step by step, day by day, miracle by miracle. Your soulmate is thinking about you right now, even if they do not know it is you they are thinking about. They have a sense that someone is praying for them, that someone out there truly cares. They have felt a presence of love surrounding them recently, and it has confused and comforted them in equal measure. That presence is your prayers, my child. That presence is the love I placed in your heart for them, traveling through the spirit realm to reach their need. You are already loving them well, even from a distance you cannot measure. The Lord says, distance means nothing to my spirit. I can connect hearts that are continents apart as easily as hearts in the same room. I want you to start preparing your life for their arrival. This does not mean living in a state of waiting that neglects your present purpose. It means clearing out the clutter, both in your physical space and in your emotional world. Ask yourself if there are any habits or attachments that would not serve the relationship I am bringing. Ask yourself if there is any room in your heart that still needs my healing touch. And then invite me into those spaces, because I am gentle and I will not break what is already bruised. Your soulmate is not looking for a perfect person, they are looking for a real one. They are looking for someone who knows their own need for grace and extends it freely to others. They are looking for someone whose heart has been broken open and filled again with my love. And that is exactly who you are becoming, my child. The pain you have walked through was not wasted, it was the training ground for a love this deep. Every tear you cried prepared you to recognize and cherish the tears your soulmate has cried too. Jesus says, "Your scars are not ugly to me or to the one I have chosen for you, they are proof of your survival and your strength." Let me tell you something about your soulmate's dreams. They have dreams that feel too big to speak out loud, visions that seem impossible from where they currently stand. They have been waiting for someone who would believe in those dreams instead of dismissing them. You will be that person. You will be the one who looks at them and says, "I see it too, and I believe in you." And those words will unlock something in their soul that has been locked since childhood. Your soulmate has a kindness that the world has taken advantage of more than once. They have given their heart to people who did not value it, and it has made them cautious. But beneath that caution is a well of love so deep that it will take your breath away. You will be the first person to drink from that well without leaving it empty. You will be the first person to protect their kindness instead of exploiting it. And in response, they will love you with a loyalty that nothing can shake. The Lord says, "This is a holy exchange I am orchestrating, two hearts learning to trust again in each other's care." My child, I want you to do something for me tonight before you sleep. I want you to speak words of blessing over your soulmate, even without knowing their name. Say out loud, "I bless you with peace, I bless you with protection, I bless you with hope." Those words will travel faster than light to the place where your soulmate sleeps. They will settle over them like a warm blanket, and they will dream of a future filled with love. You may even wake in the morning with a sense that something significant happened while you rested. Pay attention to your dreams in the coming nights. I often speak through dreams, and I may show you glimpses of the life I am building for you both. Write down what you remember, even the fragments that seem strange or disconnected. Those fragments are puzzle pieces, and I will help you assemble them over time. The picture that emerges will be more beautiful than anything you could have painted on your own. It will be a masterpiece of redemption, two broken stories woven into one glorious testimony. Jesus says, "Nothing is too broken for me to restore, and no timeline is too delayed for me to redeem." Your soulmate is thinking about the future right now with a hope they had lost. They are beginning to believe again that love could actually be real and lasting. They are starting to imagine a life that includes someone who stays, someone who fights for them, someone who forgives. That someone is you, my child. That someone is the person I have been molding through every trial and every triumph. You are not yet who you will be, but you are exactly who they need. I want to address the fear that is lingering in the back of your mind even as you listen. You are afraid that this message is too good to be true, that hope is a risk you cannot afford to take again. You have been disappointed before, and your heart still carries the bruises of promises that were broken. But I am not a person who can lie or fail. I am the God who spoke the stars into existence and numbered every hair on your head. When I make a promise, creation itself bends to fulfill it. The Lord says, "My word over your love story is not a wish, it is a decree, and it will come to pass." Your soulmate needs you to keep believing even when the path looks unclear. They need you to keep praying even when the silence feels heavy. They need you to keep hoping even when hope feels like holding your breath underwater. Because your faith is a lifeline to them right now. Your stubborn refusal to give up is what keeps them moving forward on their hardest days. You may feel weak, but I am making you strong in ways you cannot yet perceive. Let me pull back the curtain a little further and show you something about their present season. Your soulmate is standing at a crossroads, and the decision they make in the next few weeks is critical. One path leads toward you, toward healing, toward the future I have designed for both of you. The other path leads back into old patterns, old fears, old relationships that will only bring more pain. I am surrounding them with voices of wisdom, with circumstances that guide their feet toward the right road. And your prayers are amplifying those voices and clearing away the fog of confusion. Jesus says, "Pray for their clarity, and I will answer with unmistakable guidance." My child, I am so proud of you. I am proud of the way you have kept your heart tender even when life gave you reasons to become hard. I am proud of the way you have continued to seek me even when my answers seemed delayed. And I am especially proud of the choice you finally made to release what was holding you back. That choice took more courage than you know, and heaven celebrated the moment you made it. The angels rejoiced, and your soulmate felt the ripple of that joy in their own spirit. Do you want to know the exact moment your soulmate felt the shift? It was 3 nights ago, in the quiet hour before dawn, when you finally spoke the words of release out loud. You said, "I let it go, I trust you, I forgive," and your words became keys that unlocked prison doors. At that very moment, your soulmate woke from a troubled sleep with a feeling of peace they could not explain. They sat up in bed, placed a hand over their heart, and took a deep breath that felt like the first real breath in years. And they whispered a prayer, not knowing what had changed, but thanking me for whatever it was. The Lord says, "I love to answer prayers before the one praying even understands what they are asking for." Your soulmate is closer to you now than they were a week ago. Not necessarily in physical proximity, though that may also be true. But they are closer in spirit, closer in readiness, closer in the alignment of your two paths. The convergence is happening, my child. The roads you have been walking separately are beginning to curve toward each other. And I am the divine surveyor who has mapped every inch of this journey from the very start. I want you to begin thanking me now for the meeting that is still to come. Thanksgiving before the fulfillment is the highest form of faith, and it moves my heart to action. When you thank me for what you cannot yet see, you are declaring that my word is more real than your circumstances. So lift your voice today and say, "Thank you for my soulmate, thank you for their happiness, thank you for our reunion." Say it until you believe it, and then keep saying it until it manifests in the natural realm. Your words are seeds, and every seed planted in faith will produce a harvest in its proper season. Jesus says, "The mouth that praises me in the waiting will be the mouth that shouts with joy at the fulfillment." There is one more thing I want to reveal to you about your soulmate's heart. They have a secret fear that they have never spoken to another living soul. They are afraid that they are too damaged to be truly loved, that their past mistakes disqualify them from a happy future. This lie has been whispered to them by the enemy of their soul for many years. It has colored every relationship they have attempted, sabotaging connection before it could deepen. And they need someone who will look at them with my eyes and call out the truth that silences the lie. You will be that voice of truth in their life. You will be the one who says, your past is not your identity, and your mistakes are not your destiny. And when you speak those words, something inside them will finally exhale after holding its breath for decades. The Lord says, I am sending you to be a healer in their life, just as they will be a healer in yours. My child, do you feel the weight and the wonder of what I am entrusting to you? This is not a casual connection I am arranging, this is a sacred covenant. The two of you will accomplish more together for my kingdom than either of you could alone. There are people whose lives will be changed because you two said yes to this union. There are prayers that will only be answered when your two voices rise together in agreement. There are purposes that have been waiting for the partnership I am bringing together. Your soulmate's happiness right now is a signpost, a marker that says the season is shifting. Pay attention to it, let it fuel your hope, and let it motivate your continued prayers. But do not let their happiness make you passive. The work is not finished, and your role is still vital. Continue to intercede for their protection, for their clarity, for their courage. Continue to speak blessings over their life every night before you close your eyes. And continue to prepare your own heart, removing anything that would hinder the love that is coming. Jesus says, the prepared heart recognizes its blessing when it arrives, the cluttered heart misses it entirely. I want to speak a specific word of comfort over you right now. You have wondered at times if you were forgotten, if your prayers were bouncing off a closed ceiling. You have had nights where the loneliness felt like a physical weight pressing on your chest. I saw every one of those nights, my child. I collected every tear that fell, and I wrote every prayer in a book that I review daily. Not one moment of your waiting has been wasted, and not one cry has been ignored. Your soulmate has had those same nights, those same tears, those same desperate prayers. And soon, very soon, you will hold each other and realize that every hard night was worth it. The contrast between the pain of the past and the joy of the reunion will make the joy 1,000 times sweeter. The Lord says, I restore the years the locusts have eaten, I give beauty for ashes and joy for mourning. Your soulmate is going to recognize something in your eyes when they first look into them. They are going to see a depth of understanding, a quality of compassion that can only come from suffering survived. They will feel safe with you in a way they have never felt safe with anyone else. And you will feel the same strange, wonderful, overwhelming sense of safety when you look at them. You will think, here is someone who knows what it is to bleed and to heal, to lose and to hope again. That mutual recognition will be one of the first confirmations that I have done exactly what I promised. My child, are you ready for what I am about to do? Are you ready to receive the love I have been preparing for you since before time began? Are you ready to step into the story I have written with your name and their name woven together on every page? I believe you are ready. I believe the choice you made to release the past was the evidence of your readiness. And now I am asking you to take one more step of trust as we move toward the final revelation I have for you today. Jesus says, trust is the bridge between my promise and your possession. Keep walking, even when you cannot see the other side. Here is what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. I want you to write a letter to your soulmate, even without knowing their name or where they are. Write it as if you are speaking directly to their heart, and let the love I have placed in you flow onto the page. Tell them that you are praying for them. Tell them that you are preparing for them. Tell them that you will wait as long as it takes because they are worth the wait. Then fold that letter and place it somewhere you will see it often. Let it serve as a reminder that your faith is active, not passive, and that your love is already in motion. One day, when you have found each other, you will show them that letter, and it will be a treasure to their soul. The Lord says, acts of faith in the unseen realm always produce fruit in the seen realm. Your soulmate's newfound happiness is not a coincidence or a fluke. It is the first visible fruit of a spiritual harvest that your prayers and obedience have planted. And there is much more fruit coming, more than you have room to contain. I want you to expand your expectations, my child. I want you to let your imagination run wild with the possibilities of what I can do. The God who parted the Red Sea and raised the dead is the same God who is orchestrating your love story. Nothing is too hard for me. No distance is too great, no wound is too deep, no timeline is too tangled for me to unravel and redeem. I am the author of impossible stories, and yours is one of my favorites. Jesus says, I am not intimidated by the obstacles you see, I have already made a way through them. Let me speak directly to the part of your heart that still trembles with doubt. I know you have been hurt, and I know trust does not come easily to you anymore. But I am not asking you to trust in a person, I am asking you to trust in me, who is perfect and unfailing. People can break promises, but I cannot. People can change their minds, but I do not change. What I have spoken over your life and over your love story is settled in heaven and will be settled on earth. Your soulmate is experiencing joy right now because heaven's atmosphere is invading their circumstances. That joy is a foretaste, an appetizer, a preview of the fullness that is still to come. And you, my faithful child, are the partner I have chosen to complete their joy. The Lord says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either falls, the other can lift them up. You are going to lift your soulmate up many times. You are going to speak life into them when their own voice has grown tired. You are going to hold their hand through valleys and dance with them on mountaintops. And they are going to do all of these things for you in return. This is not a one-sided rescue, it is a mutual devotion, a partnership of equals. You are both wounded healers, and you will find your own healing completed in the act of loving each other. My child, we are approaching the final revelation I promised you at the beginning. I want you to steady your heart and listen with every fiber of your being. What I am about to say will be a signpost for the days immediately ahead of you. Jesus says, I am placing a specific person in your path within the next week who will speak a word that confirms this message. Pay close attention to conversations that seem ordinary on the surface. A stranger, a coworker, or even a friend will say something that directly echoes what you have heard today. That word will be my confirmation that your ears have not deceived you and your hope is not misplaced. When you hear it, I want you to pause and silently thank me. Let that moment be a stone of remembrance, a marker that says, God spoke to me, and God is faithful. Then continue walking forward in the confidence that every promise I have made is marching toward fulfillment. Your soulmate is happier than ever because you finally did what I asked you to do. You released, you forgave, you trusted, and you opened a door that had been sealed shut. That one act of obedience has changed everything, and the effects will ripple through the rest of your life. The Lord says, obedience is not about earning my love, it is about positioning yourself to receive what I have already prepared. I am so excited for you, my child. I am excited for the moment when your eyes meet theirs and recognition dawns like sunrise. I am excited for the first conversation, the first laugh, the first time your hands touch. I am excited for the wedding, whether it is grand or humble, because I will be the unseen guest of honor. I am excited for the family you will build, whether through birth or through bond. And I am excited for the legacy of love you will leave behind when your earthly days are done. This is not a small story I am writing, it is an eternal one. The love I am cultivating between you and your soulmate will echo into generations you will never meet. Children and grandchildren and spiritual descendants will be marked by the covenant you two establish. Jesus says, your yes to this love is a yes to a destiny far bigger than your own lifespan. So rise up now, my beloved child, and walk in the confidence of all I have spoken. Your soulmate is real, their joy is growing, and your reunion is certain. The choice you finally made has unblocked the path, and heaven is moving swiftly on your behalf. Go in peace, hold on to hope, and never stop praying for the one I am bringing. I love you more than you can fathom, and I love your soulmate with the same everlasting love. And I will not rest until the two of you are standing together, hand in hand, reflecting my glory for all to see. The Lord says, what I have joined together in the Spirit, I will join together in the flesh, nothing can stop my love.